well, the market actually on the SGX Nifty is looking quite good. So who knows, after yesterday's resilience, when the market clearly recovered after that morning slam dunk, things perhaps could turn better, or is this now a sell-on rally market? Let's ask our experts, Sudarshan Sukhani and Mitessh Thakkar joining us. Gentlemen, good morning. Sudarshan, would you sell this gap up, or is this market still largely a buy and dip market? Your thoughts?
Yeah, good morning, Anuj. See, there is a strong support zone somewhere around 17,300. Now, yesterday the market held on to that support zone if we ignore the first 15-20 minutes, which is okay. Now, so far as that support holds, I think at least for the day, we'll go this, do this on a day-to-day basis. I can't predict that the markets will make new highs, but for the day today, the markets are a buying opportunity. So this gap up is a buy. It's a question of tactics whether you want to buy immediately on a gap up, and the much better idea is to wait for minor intraday dips or minor intraday consolidations, not big ones, small ones, but be long today, and that applies to the Nifty and to the Bank Nifty and generally to stocks. And your stops are, as I told you, 17,300 is the support zone. Since it is never a real number, it's a zone, your stop should be initially 17,250.
Okay, 17,250 is a stop loss on the Nifty, and the strategy, I mean, you can adjust a similar stop loss for Bank Nifty as well. Mitessh, good morning. How are you approaching the index? Has the trend changed, or is it a market in which you would still look to buy the dip?
Well, I think buy the dip, I think remains good for me, because I think I'm taking a bet that the broader trend, which is the longer term trend, medium term trend, is still on the upside. We've had a rally from around 15,100 odd levels to about 18,000 odd levels, and I think this entire movement looks like correcting that kind of decline, rally. So I think overall, broadly, I think this is a market in which you would want to, now that we've had a good correction, want to figure out medium-term support areas, which for me is close to about 17,000 odd levels, give and take 100 points, and I think that range should hold out well. So broadly buy on decline, but from a trading point of view, you might still want to wait it out because we are slightly away from that levels, and therefore be more stock specific.
Okay, so since you've given us a cue to become more stock specific, tell us about the individual stocks that you're looking at. Sudarshan, let me start with you. Yesterday was interesting. You had IT under a lot of pressure. Consumption has been picking up in a big way. Autos did well. What are the stocks for the day?
Yeah, in fact, because of yesterday's price movements, there are a lot of stocks where short-term buying opportunities are coming. I'll start with Bazaar Paints. Bazaar Paints is a buying opportunity. It had a very deep correction. That's well behind it. It's a buy with a stop under 693. LIC Housing is another buying opportunity. It's been in a trading range. It's now breaking out of that range. You can consider buying that with a stop under 387. Voltas is my only intraday short idea. Voltas is an intraday short, and that's not necessary. Only if this market suddenly starts weakening, look at it with a stop above 990. And finally, Petronet LNG is a buying opportunity. It's not just for the day, it's also a positional buy. There is a very attractive double bottom that is getting confirmed with a stop under 215.
Okay, and Mitessh, what are you buying and selling?
Yeah. So I also have more of buy calls today. A couple of stocks, despite the fact that the market had a big candle on the negative side, managed to do well, and Colgate was amongst them. 1609 is the stop loss for me. That's a buy call for targets of 1675. BHL is another one. That's a buy with a stop at 57.5 for targets of 63. And Loris Labs is the third buy call with a stop at 567 for targets of 595. On the sell side is LT Infotech. On a mild bounce around 4,500, go short with a stop at 4,575 for targets of 4,350.